Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video we're going to start collecting Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and today we're going to take a look at the Vanguard box set for the Nighthaunt. Now we're going to look in this box set in particular at trying to start an army for the current season in this edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar in Andtor, and we're going to go through the contents of the box set, talk about all the different units that come inside it before having a look at some other units we can use to expand upon the initial purchase of the Vanguard box set, and then finally finishing off the video with a sample army list of 1,000 points for you to use, hopefully as some inspiration for starting your own force of the Nighthaunt in Andtor. And so, to start with, first of all, the box set is led by a Knight of Shrouds. This is a foot hero that has 5 wounds and a 4+ save. Now, it can also be given one of the arcane tomes to turn it into a wizard to make it another Andtorian locus for you. It has the Sword of Stolen Hours, which is 5 attacks at 3s and 3s, run 1 damage 2, pretty standard stuff for a foot fighty hero. Stolen Hours means at the end of each combat phase, if any enemy models were slain by attacks made with the Sword of Stolen Hours in that phase, you can heal 1 wound allocated and add 1 to the wounds characteristic of the unit as well. Spectral Overseer is an ability to, once per battle round, you can issue the redeploy or unleash hell command to a friendly Nighthaunt summonable unit without a command point being spent. In the combat phase, or when you pick this unit to fight for the first time as well, you can bring a summonable unit in to fight directly after you as well. Now, joining this model, we then have a battleline unit of 20 Chain Rasp Horde. Chain Rasp are a 5+ save and 1 wound. It's important to remember as well when we're talking saves with Nighthaunt, the entire army has ethereal, so it means they can never receive positive or negative modifiers to their save characteristic. Now, they have fly like everything in the Nighthaunt force, the whole army can fly, which is really cool. And you've also got Chilling Horde, which means you add 1 to wound rolls made with your melee weapons if you ever make a charge move in the same turn, meaning you would turn your models into 4s and 3s with 2 attacks each. Now, the next unit is Grimghast Reapers, another battleline unit. This box is really cool because all 3 units besides the character are battleline options at all times, so you've definitely got enough battleline in this to serve you well up to 2,000 points, which I think is really fantastic. Grimghast Reapers have a 4+ base save with 1 wound each, and they've got their slasher size, which are 2 attacks at 4s and 3s, run 1 damage 1. They do have the ability Reaped Like Corn, which means they add 1 to their attacks if their slasher size are ever attacking a unit with 5 or more models, and you've also got the Death Knell on there as well, which can be given to the champion, which is 2 attacks at 4s and 3s, run 1 damage D3. The last unit in this box set is perhaps the most interesting in Spirit Hosts, 3 wounds each and a 4+ save. They have a really cool ability called Drawn to War before you allocate a wound or mortal wound to a friendly Nighthaunt hero nearby. Instead of making a ward roll or a roll that would ignore the wound or mortal wound, you can simply roll a dice, and on a 3+, this unit will take the damage instead of the hero. So these are really great at keeping your heroes, especially in the current season and Andtorian locuses, that little bit more alive. Today's video is brought to you by Gap Games, a fantastic retailer in Australia for a variety of different miniature war games. If you'd like to help support the channel, we have an affiliate link where by clicking on and purchasing, you'll help support the channel, but you'll also help support Gap Games, which is a fantastic servant to the community. And so, looking at where to go next for the Nighthaunt. Now, of course, we're going to talk about the Andtorian Locust that is the Guardian of Souls. This model actually comes in a box set with a couple of other heroes, the Knight of Shrouds on Ethereal Steed and the Spirit Torment, but it is the one at the top right of the first picture we've got here that we're going to talk about, the Guardian of Souls. I just wanted to put the picture up of the box that this comes in so you have an idea of what you're looking for when you go onto Games Workshop's website trying to search for it. Now, the Guardian of Souls has 5 wounds, a 4+ save, pretty standard, and its Chill Blade is 3 attacks at 3s and 3s, run 1 damage 2. It's a 1 cast and 1 unbind wizard that has the fly. Its Nightmare Lantern means you can add 1 to wound rolls for melee weapons on friendly Nighthaunt while they're hollow within 12 inch of it, which is a nice little additional buff. And Spectral Lure as well, if successfully cast, you pick a friendly Nighthaunt summonable unit, and you can heal either D6 wounds allocated to that unit, or if no wounds are allocated, you can return a number of slain models that have a combined wound characteristic of D6 or less. So this is pretty cool, it allows you to bring your models back. It also gives out a nice little buff as well. Now, the next thing I want to talk about in the current season, I think really do have a place, are the Murmurn Banshees. These are a unit of Banshees, so 4+ save, 1 wound each. But they do have the Spell Eater's ability, where you can roll 2d6 each time an enemy wizard successfully casts a spell that is not unbound, and chooses for the effect of the spell to apply to a unit wholly within 12 inch of this unit. Of course, this would include themselves, or when an endless spell finishes a move within 6 inch of this unit as well. You can add 1 to the roll if this unit has 3 or more models in it, and if the roll is greater than the casting value for that spell or endless spell, the spell is unbound before it has any effect, and that endless spell is simply dispelled. So really powerful unit. The fact it can do so and dispel before the effect is done, I think is really powerful. Now, the Nighthaunt do have their own set of endless spells as well. First of all, they have the Mortalis Terminexus. This is a predatory endless spell and has the Keeper of Mortality ability. After this endless spell is moved, the player who moved it can decide whether it will reverse time or hasten time. If you choose to reverse time, you can do some healing, and if you choose to hasten time, it can deal some mortal wounds to units around it. The Shyish Reaper is really nice. It allows you to roll 2 dice for each unit it's passed across, because it's a predatory endless spell, and you can potentially do 2d3 mortal wounds to an enemy unit with it. A really nice endless spell for its points cost. Vaults of Souls is the last one, and this is another predatory endless spell, but it has the Soul Eruption ability, where after this endless spell is moved, you roll a dice for each enemy model within 6 inch. Add 1 to the roll of that model's unit is terrified, which is a Nighthaunt special rule when they're in combat. And when they're within 3 inch of enemy units, those enemy units become terrified. On a 6+, that model's unit will suffer a mortal wound, and you need to keep track of the number of mortal wounds this endless spell will deal. And so if the total is 10 or more at the end of any phase, you roll a dice for each unit within 6 inch of the endless spell. And on a 2+, you will be able to deal a number of mortal wounds equal to the dice roll, and you also get to add 1 to your dice roll as well if the units are terrified. Now, the last unit I do want to talk about in this video for the Nighthaunt is the Krulgast Crusader. He's another hero you can take, and now he is not going to be a wizard, though you could always put an arcane tone on him to turn him into an Andtorian Locus. I think he has a really powerful ability with the Empowered Through Excruciation, where if this unit is within 12 inch of any terrified unit, subtract 1 from the bravery, and you subtract 1 from the damage inflicted to a minimum of 1, but each successful attack that targets a friendly Nighthaunt unit wholly within 12 inch of this model. And so, here is our sample armors. Now, we've gone for the Emerald Host subfaction for the Nighthaunt. This allows us to pick some enemy units at the beginning of the game and deal mortal wounds to them during the course of the game. I think this is really great in the current season with your ability to protect your Andtorian Locusts pretty well. And our grand strategy is going to be Dismantle the Brave. What this does is, after deployment but before the first battle round begins, the enemy unit with the highest bravery is marked the target. If more than one unit has the highest bravery characteristic, you can choose which of those units, and this is particularly good if you're playing something like other undead or demons, where they do have multiple units with that really high bravery. You can pick, something easy to target. Now, if one or more units has that bravery, like I said, you can choose which one. But when the battle ends, you complete this grand strategy if the target unit has been slain and the model chosen to be your general has not been slain. So, we then have our Knight of Shrouds, who we've given the Arcane Tome just to turn him into an Andtorian Locus. And then we have a Guardian of Souls joining him, who will be our general and take the command trait Eye of the Blizzard. What this one does is allows us to roll an extra primal magic dice. And then we've also got the spell Hoarfrost on the model. This allows us to potentially increase our rend to -2 or -3 on some of our units, really pushing up the damage potential on some of these units. Battle line wise, we have 20 Chain Rasp and the 10 Grimghast Reapers, both with their unit champions. And then we have 3 Spirit Hosts ×2. This is enough Spirit Hosts to protect each of our 2 characters. I think Spirit Hosts are really valuable in the current season. They're going to allow you to keep your Andtorian Locusts alive that much longer. For another spell, we've chosen a Gaunt with the Shyish Reaper, and then we've also taken a unit of 4 Murmourn Banshees as well for a little bit of extra magical protection. This army comes to a perfect 1,000 points, so there is no triumph for the force, but if you've got some ideas on how you'd play with your Nighthaunt force in the current season of Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and indeed start with the Vanguard box set, how you to expand from that, let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And so, thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, and also drop a comment down below letting us know what you thought about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our fine little community, we have a Discord server which is linked down in the video's description, and also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel, either by Patreon or YouTube members, or by grabbing yourself some merch from our Teespring store as well. All of those are linked down in the video's description, and a special thank you to our YouTube members and patrons. We'd like to give you all a shout out, so thank you to our YouTube members John Castle, Disco, James Tillman, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, Ariana Edwards, Broken Chef, the Johnny84, Lock Lorick, Ronya, Green Roots Gaming, and our patrons Wasaren, Kenny Lyle, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Cure Dynamic, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domia, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Benjamin Swallows, Redman, Iron Grinch, Colorblind Magic, Grimscold, and Andy C. Thank you all once again, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.